Hey Cancer, welcome to your weekly forecast for May 9th through the 15th. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might stumble upon the video after the time frame I mentioned. That's just fine. You're going to find it whenever you're meant to find it, whenever it's time to hear the messages. We are coming into Mercury retrograde starting on the 10th. Uh, it will be moving through Gemini till the 22nd. And so this is going to be a good time, Cancer, to make sure that we're making time for taking care of our mental well-being. Give ourselves some mental health time, mental health days. Make sure that you're giving yourself time to process any worries or anxieties or stresses that are coming up. But we're going to connect and see what messages are coming up here in the cards for the week ahead. If you are somebody who's really scared of Mercury retrograde, take a deep breath, ground yourself, and remind yourself of how many Mercury retrogrades you have survived up until now, okay? We're going to see what's coming up here. First card for the Cancer Collective is the Devil. Now, this astrologically could be Capricorn. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn. If you have Capricorn placements, there can be big changes or shifts happening for you in those areas of your life. However, I was just talking about giving ourselves time for mental health and, knowing that we are going to be in this Mercury retrograde energy that is taking us through our mental process or the element of air. So the Devil card can indicate, Cancer, that some of you are going to be dealing with negative ego in the week ahead, right? Anytime we're on the precipice of really big changes, really big shifts, that negative ego wants to come in really hard and just start to discourage us. The closer we are to a big change or a big breakthrough, the meaner and the louder the negative ego is. So pay attention to this. Be mindful of your thoughts this week. Pay attention. And when you catch that negative ego, work through it. Work through it, process through it. Remind yourself that you are worthy of happiness, that you deserve happiness, that, this is the negative ego coming at you. And so that must mean that you are on the threshold of big change. You can ask Archangel Michael to remove fear from your heart, to fill your heart with love and light and courage. You can ask Archangel Jophiel to clear away these mean and negative thoughts, to help you to be more loving in your internal dialogue, to love yourself and see yourself as heaven loves you and sees you, and to see others as heaven sees them. Because I do feel at this time, Cancer, and this is something coming in more intuitively, but I feel something here with the Devil card and the ego energy. Like, some of you are in this energy where you're really, really, really comparing yourself to other people. And you're looking around and you're thinking other people have it so much better, or they're so much further than you. And Spirit is saying it's an illusion, it's not true. And so some of you are feeling discouraged because you're putting unreasonable expectations on yourself, or you're looking at social media, which is complete and total lies. It's complete and total rubbish, and you're like, wow, like this person looks so amazing, or this person is so successful, and I look in the mirror and I'm so far from that, and my life is nowhere as good, and we start to feel discouraged. But you're comparing yourself to the illusion that somebody else is putting forward. And this might not even be on social media for some of you. This could be a coworker, a family member, your neighbor. But again, it's still an illusion. You're comparing yourself to the illusion that this person is presenting you. So Spirit and your angels and guides want to help you to not fall into that. So as I said, you can pray for help to see others as heaven sees them. Okay, so that you're not fooled by these false pretenses, or you're not being made to feel like inadequate, compared to somebody else's false pretenses. The next card coming up here for you all is the Five of Cups. Now, we are coming into Mercury retrograde energy. So what happens? When Mercury retrograde comes in, things start to move backwards. Things start to go in the other direction. So Five of Cups can indicate something you were hoping for begins to reverse or to go in the other direction. But I feel like Spirit is trying to tell you in this instance, in this situation, be patient, because when Mercury goes direct again, then we're going to have things moving forward in the way it was moving forward before. And, you're making progress again, you're moving forward again. But for some of you, there may be a temporary regression. So just go with the flow. Don't get too caught up in it. Don't obsess about it. Don't feel like you have to fight it or change it. I'm feeling that it's coming in the form of a delay, right? So maybe you're getting ready to move and you're getting a phone call and they're saying, we're so sorry, but the place isn't going to be ready when we thought it was going to be ready. You can't move in on the 15th. You got to wait till the 1st of June. It could be a situation like that. Maybe your boss was promising to like get you trained on something or to give you a promotion or a raise, and they're going to say, oh, well, we can't do it just yet. Maybe it's a relationship for some of you that was moving forward nicely, and now all of a sudden it seems to be regressing or moving backwards. And I feel in this sense that this is temporary. This is temporary. This is going to change. This is going to get better. So don't get too discouraged and focus on reworking, revising, regrouping other areas of your life, and just allow things to happen as they're happening without feeling like you gotta hurry up and change it or push it forward or fight against that current. Okay? The next card that's coming up here for our Cancer friends is the Star. Alrighty. And this is very positive energy, so we're definitely happy to see her. So this can be associated with the astrological sign of Aquarius. Some of you could be dealing with a significant Aquarius in your life. If you have Aquarius placements, there can be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. Now, the Star card is a very positive card. And the Star card tells us that the worst of it is over, because after all, it follows the Tower. In the order of the major arcana cards, in the order of the tarot, the Tower is sudden destruction, sudden chaos, things falling apart, things being removed from our life. So Cancer, some of you have already been there, right? You may have already had significant Tower moments well before coming into this week. But the Star card comes up to remind you and say, look, Cancer, you've been through some crazy stuff. You've been through some trying and challenging times. You've been through some significant Tower moment. But look, you might have some minor disappointments this week, but it's nothing compared to what you've already been through and what you've already dealt with. And the worst of it is over, right? The worst of it, the hardest part is behind you. Now you're coming into a time that you can expect for things to get better now. You can make long-term plans that are actually going to stick, that are actually going to work out. The Star card is a card of comfortable, stable, abundant retirement. Income coming in from more than one avenue, flowing in from more than one stream. It's a card of being healed, being seen, very inspired energy, being a source of inspiration and healing to others. It's a powerful, beautiful energy. So you have to take a moment here, Cancer. You may have some negative ego moments this week where you're kind of down on yourself and you're not feeling so great about yourself. You may have some minor disappointment that comes in, but you have to take a step back and you have to remind yourself of who you are, how far you've come, how strong you are, how resilient you are, how beautiful and powerful you are, how capable you are. right? This is nothing. This isn't going to take you down. It's a minor temporary inconvenience, but you're going to come back bigger and better and stronger than ever before. And as we often say, Mercury retrograde is not the best time to start on new projects. It's not the best time to get into action of doing new things. However, it is a time of reworking things. It is a time of it's a good time to reorganize, regroup, revise, replan, rework something. And the Star card is a card of successful plans. So you might be a little bit impatient to hurry up and hit the ground running right now. But this week and into the coming weeks, this is a good time for you, Cancer, to do some self-reflection, to go within, to really think about what you really want. What is your true heart's desire? What do you want versus what you've been trying to succeed at, or what you've been trying to manifest because you were told that that's what was going to make you happy, or you were told that that's what would make you successful, or you were told that that's the type of people you should be around, or that's the type of relationship you should have. But in your heart of hearts, it's not you. It's not your true desire. So this is a good time for you, Cancer, to do some soul searching, to do some self-reflection, get very clear about what you want, and what do you want your life to look like in the long term. When you envision yourself at the end of your days, having lived out a long and eventful life, how do you want things to be? And what steps are you going to take now in the present day to get there? What are the steps that you have to take to align yourself with those goals or those ambitions or those dreams or those visions that you have for you far into the future? So this is going to be a good time for you, Cancer, to rework your plan, revisit your dreams, revisit your aspirations, and get very clear about what you really do want and what steps you can take to get yourself there. Okay, so this is a good time for planning. Your next card here is the Two of Wands. And Two of Wands is decisions and choices. It is definitely a card about figuring out what we want. Do we want option A? Do we want option B? What's the plus of each? What's the minus of each? What are the pros and cons here? Two of Wands can also be cards about partnerships. And so you might be kind of thinking or debating on if you want this partnership. Now, a word of caution for you, Cancer. Two of Wands is a card that sometimes comes up for me when we're being made an offer. Somebody is giving us an offer, okay? And we're going to be super beneficial for them, really beneficial for them. And they know this. They know that we're going to be super beneficial for them, but we have no idea. And they know that we have no idea. So they try to present us with this offer, and they kind of lowball us a little bit. They lowball us. They kind of take advantage of the situation. So it's a good idea for you to ask a lot of questions, to do your research, to see what a fair exchange would be for the offer that they're making, so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you're agreeing to something and then it ends up being an absolute headache, where you're like, wow, this is so much work, or this is a lot more challenging than I thought. And the word for you, of caution for you, is this. Because we are coming into a time of Mercury retrograde, and a lot of people may find some plans not working out, or things like going the opposite direction that they expected, and then you may have some minor disappointment in your life. Somebody might be coming to you and reaching out to you because something's not working well for them. And they think because you have this minor disappointment you're going to be more likely to jump on whatever they're offering you, right? And they might be desperate for your help, but they might not be telling you the full story of how much work the situation is going to be or how much they're going to need from you, and they may present it like a sweet deal, but really it's going to be a lot of work. So be sure to ask a lot of questions, right? The example that I give is, this is a common example I've given in previous videos. You might have a friend or family member that maybe they moved somewhere, they've got like a nice house, they've got like extra space, and they might reach out to you and say, hey, Cancer, hey, yeah, I heard that you quit your job, or I heard that, they laid you off, and, or, I hear you're really stressed at work, and I know you've been wanting to go back to school, and I know you've been wanting to start a business, or, whatever. Why don't you come and stay with me for a while? I've got an extra bedroom. You'll have plenty of privacy. This is such a cool place to live. Just take a break. Just relax. Check it out. Don't worry about anything. You'll be just a guest here, and hey, if you like it, you can stay, you can go back to school, you can start your business, but you can just help me out around the house, right? You can just help me out around the house. You can help me out like with the kids or whatever. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And so you're just thinking that you're going to go there and maybe you're going to cook dinner a few nights out of the week. Maybe you're going to do some vacuuming and cleaning the bathrooms, and you think, oh, that sounds cool. But then you get there and they're like working late every night that week, and then they want to go out after, and they're like, oh, Cancer, do you mind just kind of staying in? I'm not going to come home tonight. Just make sure you wake the kids up for school in the morning, and get them ready, get their breakfast ready, get them out the door, whatever, get them to the bus stop. And now it's like an everyday thing, and you're like the live-in nanny 24/7, and they're like, oh, can you fix the hole in the roof? There's a leak in the roof, can you fix it? And you're like, what? I didn't sign up to do roof work. So when these things are being offered to you, ask specific questions, like, what does that look like to you? Like, when you say help out around the house, what do you mean? When you say help out with the kids, like, how many times a week are we talking? Are we talking about overnights? How often? Ask specific questions. Some of you may have a previous employer that's calling you back and trying to get you to go back there. Ask really specific questions. What are you having me do? What is the pay? Maybe go online and do some research. What are other companies paying for this work? They might be super lowballing you. So ask questions, do your research, so that you don't end up committing to something that's going to end up being a massive headache later. Be sure to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you click on the link in the description of this video, it will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. Love readings for May are linked in the description of the video. And don't forget to check out the daily messages. A lot of people have been finding those helpful as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. Take care.